Hey there, and welcome to the Profitable Entrepreneur Podcast with your host, Keaney. And this is the podcast where we help six-figure coaches, VAs, and entrepreneurs all around the world scale their sales, break free from the one-to-one hustle, and skyrocket their profits online. Because we believe that the best business is a profitable one, and real CEOs make money, not coffee. So rise up, join the revolution, and let's get down to business. All right, everybody. So today I thought it would be super cool to come in as we really wrap up 2020 and we get ready to head into a brand new year, super fresh year, right? I think we're all ready for that. I think we're all really excited for that. I wanted to talk and focus on today about the top ways that you can be thinking about attracting more clients on social media in 2021. So I think that, there's a lot of ways to do a lot of things when it comes to the online space. We have so many options. And here's what I want to say. There's a little caveat to everything I'm going to talk about today. There's not a right or wrong way. Like all the ways work, right? All of the strategies, the tactics, everything works. It works differently for everybody, right? There's a lot of factors that come into play with why something would work for somebody and maybe not somebody else, right? There's a lot of different factors behind all the ways, but all of the ways do work. And so today I really just wanted to focus on as we head into 2021, there are some things that are changing. Okay. There are some things that are going to be changing, and this is going to affect some of the strategies that maybe you have been using or not using in the online space. Okay. And that's why I thought it was important to kind of talk about this. I want to share 3 top ways specifically that we have been using already, that we plan to continue using in 2021 as our top client attraction drivers. These are the top things that 99.9% of our focus, time, money, energy will be going into as we head into 2021 as it applies to attracting more clients in the online space. Okay. So we all know that our time as business owners, as CEOs, we understand and we very clearly know that our time is our money, right? We understand that every minute that we put into our business is either costing us money or making us money. Like as a business owner and a CEO, you understand that, right? So that really means that the places that you give your time, your attention to, your time to, they should be very focused, intentional, and they should be geared toward moving the needle closer to your revenue goals, to your big benchmarks that you might have, your timelines, your deadlines in your business, right? And I say this because there is a lot you can do. There's a lot of things you could be doing. In some of the conversations we're having with our scaling community, there's a lot of things people are doing that are not driving that needle forward, right? And I call this fake progress. It's fake progress because it's you. It might look like you doing all the things. You're doing so many things, right? You're moving at the speed of light in all kinds of directions. You're doing so many different things. You're checking all the boxes. You're doing as much as possible, but you are treading water in the same place. Right? So you might be able to relate to that. You might feel like, yeah, I do work a lot. I'm doing a lot of things. I am checking a lot of boxes. I have torn myself into so many directions in my business. And I just feel like the ROI of that is just not there. It doesn't match all of my effort, my time, my commitment, right? And so this happens because there is so many things that you can do. And so as creative entrepreneurs who are high achievers and ambitious, we are going for it all. We're going big or we go home, right? We are going big. We're going for it all. So we're trying everything. We don't want to leave any stone unturned. And so we end up doing things. And what happens though is we kind of lose sight of that big vision. We lose sight of those monumental small milestones that are going to bring you to that big vision. And we get lost in the doing of things. We get lost in the shiny object of things, the sexy idea of things, right? And so that's where you kind of find yourself spiraling and going in so many different directions, yet the needle's not moving. And this happens at all stages of business, right? This happens if you're new. This happens if you're more established. You could be making multiple 6-7 figures in your business and feel like this is your experience, right? If you have a sales team, they might be feeling this, or you might be feeling this, or together you guys might be like, what is going on here? And so it's really important that you and your sales team are really focused on revenue generating activities, and that you are constantly growing your audience and then nurturing those people, activating them, and then converting them, right? It's super important that that is at the top of your list as a CEO, and for your sales team, at the very top of your list every single day, Monday through Friday, right? There's nothing that comes before those three things, no matter what stage of business you're in. And so I want to talk about these three of the top things that I think have not only been game changer for us this year, but going into 2021 are most definitely, they're just going to be the top of our priority list as we dive into 2021 and attract clients. So number one, the very first way that I think in 2021 is going to be essential to consistently be attracting more and more and more and more clients and more leads into your online space and into conversations with you and your sales team and into your programs. Number one, as a CEO of your business, you are the face of the company. You are the person running the show. You're driving the ship. You're steering the direction. So it's so critical as the CEO that you are getting behind the video and the mic. And I used to be super resistant to this, right? I really felt I'm just going to pump out more content. I'm going to just create a blog. I'm going to write more posts. I'll just send more emails. I'll do more Canva images with quotes. I was really resistant to getting behind any video or microphone. And I really was like, I will do anything, even if it meant I will spend hours and hours and hours more each week on creating content to post if it meant that I didn't have to get live. And here's the thing. Number one, it really is a lack of human connection when we are not showing up in our business, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is algorithms are not in your favor if all you're doing is pumping out social posts and emails. We know this today, right? Social media is very visual. It's very much about audio and video and imagery, right? People have to connect with you. And the other thing is the algorithm needs to be in your favor. And the algorithm is friendly to video and audio and images more than just plain texts and emails and stuff. The other thing too is people consume information in different ways. Not everyone wants to read your long story post. Not everybody wants to look at just your Canva image. And everybody kind of learns different, right? Sometimes emails get lost. A lot of times emails get lost. Same thing with social posts, right? So, and the other thing too is you could find yourself getting sucked into content creation mode that is absolutely taking all of your time, and it isn't even converting that well. It's just not a good use of your time. We actually have a converting content kit, is what we call it. And it's our content schedule. It's how we only put out a few pieces a week that do a lot of things for us and do a lot of the heavy lifting and that convert really well for us. So that we are actually not putting out very much content, but very specific content, right? So we actually don't spend that much time creating content. And a lot of that core content that we use and put out, it is audio and video. 90% of it is audio and video, right? And so we want you getting behind the mic in the video. That's how people feel like they're in the room with you. That's how they feel like they can connect to you. They can see you, hear you. They can look at your demeanor when you're talking. They can put a face to the name. They can see that you're real, you're human, right? They want to see you while they listen to you. They want to know who you are. They want to get to connect with you and feel your energy, right? Like, and your, just your vibration as you're talking and teaching and coaching and all of that good stuff. Okay. So I don't care what type of industry or niche you are in 2021, I think it's going to be absolutely critical and essential that you're getting behind the video and the mic. I don't think that it's going to, kind of what I tell my clients is if you're not getting behind the video and the mic, then nobody knows you exist, because it's just, there's no way people can read all the content. Okay. So part of what you could be doing to get behind video and mic is start a podcast. I actually have all my high-level clients inside of my Profitable Entrepreneur program. It's my 12-month scale accelerator. And my clients over there are scaling. And one of the things that we just mapped out in our 2021 planning event that we did is their schedule for getting behind the video and the mic. And one of the things that they're all doing is starting podcasts. They're starting their own podcast, positioning themselves as authority. They're building their audience, and they're growing brand awareness, right? They're stepping out into that. Scary, but exciting, and they know it's necessary. They are also getting themselves featured. I have been in business over 20 years, and part of how I got started was collaborating with people ahead of me, more advanced than I was. That's actually how I launched my first business, was collaborations. That's how I built a name for myself, a reputation. That's how people knew I existed. That's how I built awareness. Is I actually did not start anything on my own. I went out and I collaborated, and I got interviewed, and I got featured in magazines, and I got collaboration opportunities, right? And co-creation opportunities with some big, huge names in the industry. And that kicked off my career as an entrepreneur. Okay, so I have my clients pretty much replicate what I do. And I think it's really important that you are not only starting your own podcast, but get yourself on other podcasts that are top podcasts in your niche, where you know your audience is tuning in. You know your potential clients are listening and binging on that podcast. They are subscribed and they are tuning in. They are listening. They admire the person. They respect the person, the head of the podcast. They are, or the host. They are, they value their opinion, right? Because if that person interviews you, it's credibility for you, right? No one's going to interview you if they don't trust you, if they don't know you. They're not going to put you in front of their audience if they don't have that, right? So if they don't think it's going to be valuable. And so it's kind of that instant credibility almost, right? So start your own podcast. At a minimum, guys, get on other people's podcasts, right? Like you should be doing that. Pitch yourself and get on these podcasts. Obviously, there's some things you need to get in order first, but get started, right, with the process. The second thing with getting behind video and mic is have a weekly live show. I have my PE weekly live show. It is a live that I do, a live stream I do every single week inside of my free Facebook group, and I've done it for years. I have literally hosted that for, I think, 3.5 or 4 years now, every single week, excluding some holidays and my launches. But for the most part, every single Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I go live in that group. It could be for 5 minutes. It could be for 45 minutes. It's usually 20 to 45 minutes, right? Because I answer cues and stuff, and it's usually a mini training. But you don't need to. It could be 2-minute quick tip, right? But just go live every week in your group and stick to it. You have to be consistent to build trust with your audience. You can't expect them to show up if you're doing things different randomly at all different times and days, because they need to calendar this. They need to know when to be expected to show up. Okay. So start your own weekly live show every single week. Go live in your group. If it means you start with just a quick 2-minute quick tip, then do that. And then collaborate. Really look at, other Facebook group host owners, other people in your industry that are complementary to what you do. Even your competitors. There's always ways to collaborate and co-create things together. There's always ways that you guys can come together and support each other. So I think that it's really important to collaborate. I don't care what it is, just get out there. The worst thing is someone's going to say no. Who cares? Move on, right? Plenty of opportunity. But I think it's really important that you are using collaborations with other people to get that leverage with audience growth and clients. Okay, this is so key. You're not going to get where you're trying to go all by yourself. Nobody's done it. You're not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So we need to try to really leverage what's already in front of you. That's number one. Number two, organic networking and human to human connection and conversations. I don't teach ads. That's not my specialty. So I'm not going to talk about that. Obviously, I said at the beginning of this, there's 1,000,001 ways for you to grow your audience, grow your clients, and do all the things. What I teach specifically is social media, primarily Facebook. And that is because, I just I don't use a lot of technology, and I like to put people behind my business. I don't like to put technology behind my business. I like to put people. I like a lot of human connection. I like us to have two-way conversations that are real. And I'm not into the whole funnels and cookie cutter and automation and all of that stuff. I like to actually build actual real relationships with everybody that we come in contact with. And so instead of putting my money toward ads, I put my money in hiring people to come into my company and help me do this. And before that, it was me doing it. And sometimes now it's me doing it. But in any case, it's my time and my money that's getting put behind my business to grow it and scale it in the way that it has in the past year, versus doing like Facebook ads and 1,000,000 different funnels and automated this and cookie cutter that. It's just not my thing. You can choose to do whatever you like, but I definitely think no matter what you're doing, there should be a super high level of organic networking and human-to-human conversations. And I put a post about this last week. Anyone who tells you that organic lead generation and networking is time-consuming and it's spammy and it's not scalable, they don't know how to do it. I have not got where I am. My clients have not got where we are, because organic networking doesn't work. Okay. We don't spam anybody. We don't do anything that's sleazy, salesy, tacty. I don't actually teach that kind of sales. And everything that we do is super scalable. So that's the super cool thing. It's a matter of knowing how to do it. Okay. So organic networking and human to human conversations, you could be doing this in your DMs. You're already there, guys. You're already right there. Again, great strategy. There's so much power in a good DM. You just need to know how to do it. Coffee chats, or people call them coffee chats or connection calls, different things like that. With the people in your Facebook group, you could be doing those sorts of calls to connect with people, get to know them, get some information, do some market research, build some relationship. This is a great way to get engagement, but also get data for your content. So coffee chats or connection calls, whatever you want to call them, with the people in your Facebook group are perfect. I also think that if you are already on Facebook, then you should be leveraging other people's Facebook groups. And I'm not talking about spamming and cold DMing and spending 20 hours in there. The things that I teach my clients, they're doing in 1 to 3 hours a day. And then they're handing it down to a sales team who does it for them. Like, this is very scalable, but you just got to know how to do it. What I want you guys to start to do is not worry about, how do I do this and what are all the details, but I just want you to see there's other ways to be doing things that are not dependent upon a specific social platform. If you're only using ads, what happens when your ads go away? What happens when ads get shut down or Facebook no longer exists? How are you running your business? How are you getting leads? Like, what is your strategy for that, right? If your Facebook account gets shut down, what is your strategy? If your Facebook group gets closed, what is your strategy? So we teach strategies that are very scalable and sustainable, that are not just on Facebook, that are not just on a specific platform or strategy. Everything I teach can be applied anywhere. It's very scalable. It's very sustainable and predictable. That's just what I teach. So that's kind of a little background here on how I do things differently, because you may have heard other things from other people about DMs and organic this and networking and Facebook groups and all that stuff. Just want to shed some light that those people obviously and very clearly have no clue how to do it properly. And that's why it doesn't work for them. Okay. So that's that. I want you to connect with your Facebook group members, connect with the people on your Facebook page, connect with the people on your IG. If you're on social media and you're building an audience, it doesn't make sense to put the time, energy, money, effort into growing the audience, but then you don't do anything with them. You can't monetize from a dead audience, right? So we want you to be following that, getting into those actual connection calls, building relationships, getting some data. The third thing is having more conversion events. Okay, or just extending more sales, like selling more often is what I'm trying to say. Conversion events, sales, selling, all the things, right? A lot of people that I talk to, they're not really like selling much, right? You might maybe feel like that too, but I see this. I see either you're selling too much or you're not selling enough, or you're doing it, but you're not doing it right. Somewhere along those lines. If you're doing the things and you're not seeing conversions, we have plenty of videos and audios and podcasts all about that stuff. Definitely check that stuff out, or come to the group and check those videos out. But this is stuff we talk about all the time. There's variables and there's reasons why this is happening. But sometimes it's that you're just not selling effectively or you're not selling enough. And so there's a lot of ways that you guys can be hosting conversion events. You could be doing these through the DMs. We close 100% of our sales inside the DM. I have not personally done an actual sales call in about 4 or 5 years. It's not how we typically close our sales, even for our high-end offers. It's just not how we do it. But we can, and you can. It's up to you. I'm just showing you there's a lot of ways. But I think that having direct message conversations in a very genuine way, in a proper way, and moving those conversations closer and closer to a conversion in a very organic way and very authentic way is going to be super important, right? Because you're meeting people where they're at. It's more personable. It takes more of your time, or your sales team. It takes more of their time to get in the DMs and do that versus something automated, but it's got way more human connection. It can be way more customized, and it works, period. The other thing is you could be doing a 5 or 10 day launch or live launch or challenge or workshop or boot camp or whatever you want to call it. There's a million names for it. We've been doing these for decades. I used to do 5-day challenge about 20 years ago. So these have been around and no one's new to this. But you should be doing that because it's several days back to back of you being live on video. We talked about that being the first thing, right? In getting clients in 2021 is getting behind the mic and video. So what perfect way in a group where you've already built up an audience, you built authority, you built awareness, you're building relationships, go live for 5 to 10 days or 12 days or whatever. I recommend no less than 5 because it's really not enough. But 5 days or more, go live and follow the give model. So I'm a fan of Gary Vee. He says jab, 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 right hook. I say give, 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 ask. And basically all it is give the value for 3 days and then ask for the sale. So you're going to give value. You're going to be connecting. You're going to be building engagement, brand awareness, authority, all of this good stuff. You're going to be getting people to buy in to your methodology and the way that you do what you do and getting them educated so they're ready to buy. And then boom, give, 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 ask. Now you're going to ask them and you're going to extend the invitation. Those are another thing to be doing. I think that's really important because you got to spice your group up a little bit. And again, that's the cool thing about having a whole Facebook group, a hub is what we call it. You have a central hub where it's one to many. You have all these people in there listening to you, looking at you as the expert, and you're going to go live for several days like this or a week, and you're going to be given all that value and then positioning yourself to extend invitations. The other thing is you can be on your weekly live shows in your group. You could sell on those. You could sell every week, or you can sell once a month, or you can do whatever you want. But you're already giving value on those. So you absolutely could say at the end of them, hey, if this speaks to you, if you want me to help you do blank, 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 go ahead and comment below and we'll get into the DM, myself or my team, whatever. We'll get in the DMs. We'll absolutely ask you some questions. We'll chat about it. We'll see what we can do, how and if we can help you. It's a simple invitation at the end of these live streams that now all the people coming in your group later are going to see that, and that momentum will build off each other. So that's another way. And the other thing is booking consults every single day. Every time you're in these conversations with people, you should be booking consultations. Either you and or your sales team should be qualifying the people you're speaking to and moving them closer to getting into some kind of consultation where you talk about working together. Rather you're doing that in the DMs, on Zoom, on a conference line, it doesn't make a difference. But there should be consultations and sales conversations happening regularly, like every day. These should be cultivated between you and or your team. If you're not having sales conversations, then how do you sell, right? Like people don't even know you have a thing. So those are just a few ways. So, okay, guys, those are the top 3 things that I want you to be thinking about. I hope you wrote this down, but you can subscribe, go back and listen to it again. Come over and join us in the group as well. We have all kinds of trainings on stuff like this. Just let us know what you're looking for. My team and I will get in the DMs with you anyway, and we will figure out, what trainings we have that will benefit you and help you, be most helpful for you once you're over there and you're a member of the group. So we have lots and lots of value over there for you guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope you're going to follow these 3 things, implement them into your 2021 plan, get them on your calendar, get them booked, start planning this out. And I hope to see you on another episode. Hey, not so fast. As a valued listener of the Profitable Entrepreneur podcast, we want to help you simplify the scale and revolutionize your income and your impact online. not just here in these weekly sessions, but every day of the week and every week of the year. We have an amazing free Facebook group with other successful, high-achieving, and profitable CEOs who are creating financial and time freedom for their families. They're breaking free from the one-to-one hustle, and they're making a real income and impact. If this is an experience that you want to have and you want to be part of a real online community where you can connect, collaborate, co-create, scale your online coaching business, and receive uncommonly exceptional weekly live trainings from me, then head over to Facebook right now, search for Simplify the Scale. Join us over there in the Facebook group, and my team and I will be watching and waiting to welcome you and get you started on creating your next six figures. I cannot wait to connect with you.